So in this video, I'll go over why we chose the Suburban as our base overlanding vehicle, and we'll get right into it. Here I am in the back of, this is an '06 Chevy Suburban. There's a lot of different generations of Suburbans, and I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm just talking Suburban in general, why use it as an overland vehicle and why we chose it. Number one, reliability. These vehicles, just in general, and I'm generalizing all the generations, they are extremely reliable. They'll go the distance. You can put a ton of miles on them, and I know that from personal experience. So FedEx, you guys know FedEx. I used to be a contractor for FedEx, and when you're a contractor for FedEx, you maintain your own vehicles, you have your own fleet. FedEx pretty much rents the vehicles from you anyway. So because of that, I maintained my own fleet of vehicles. And I had GM stuff, so Chevy Express vans, the Savannahs, all that, and they had 5.3 liter V8s, like the Suburbans do. They had the 4.8s, the 6.0s, just all of the GM, very common, LS engines, and they all had the 4L60E transmission, or the 4L80E. So I'm really familiar with this drivetrain, and long story short, put over 1 million miles on this drivetrain, and from that experience, I can honestly say that this is one of the best drivetrains ever built. Now, they have their problems, you have to fix stuff sometimes. It's a car, but when it's all said and done, consumer reviews are extremely high on these. I personally have awesome experiences with them, and that's the number one for me, reliability. Number two, I kind of hinted on it, but these are very affordable to fix. When something breaks, because it'll happen, you're not in a bad worst case scenario. I always look at that when I'm buying a car. What's the worst case scenario on this vehicle? And the worst case scenario on Suburbans is very affordable compared to other models. And so, a transmission is extremely cheap to fix. Engine, any of the major stuff like a transfer case, front and rear diff, all of that major mechanical components of the vehicle are very affordable and readily available. So if you break down in the middle of nowhere, chances are there's going to be, number one, parts in stock for this, for a Suburban, and number two, someone in that town or wherever they tow you, they're going to know what they're working with. And you can't say that for a lot of vehicles out there now. This is an extremely common drivetrain that all mechanics should know very well, because there's just so many of these out there. Not because they're in the shop all the time, but just because there's a lot of these on the road, and a lot of them you'll see over 400K, 500K. They'll go the distance. Number three for me is capability. These are very capable off-road. They're not going to do the Jeep rock crawler, on 37s. That's not how we have these set up. I mean, you can build a Suburban to do that, but the way how we have these set up is a very minor lift with 33-inch tires, which is a great option for overlanding. And you can have a lot of fun in, for example, like Moab. You can go on a lot of, pretty difficult trails, but with this setup, you're not going to be able to go, for example, like, Cane Creek or something like that. That you're going to need, front and rear lockers, 37s, all that stuff. I'm saying capability as far as it's a very good, four-wheel drive system, and if you do need it and you are in trouble, it'll get you out of that. A lot of these come stock with the G80 locker in the rear, and there's a lot of opinions out there about that too, but it's a very good option, and it's awesome that it's in a lot of these. And to go along with that, the size of this. So ultimately, what we did when we chose a vehicle was we talked about reliability. Can someone fix it? Is it capable enough for overlanding? And is it big enough? So the fourth one to me is size. This is a Suburban is the biggest four-wheel drive vehicle that is affordable. To wrap everything up here in this video about why we chose the Suburban is as an overlanding vehicle and why it's a good option. Number one, there's reliability. Very reliable. Just look on KBB, Edmunds, all of those awesome consumer reviews. This drivetrain is just amazing. It's legendary. It really is. And number two, when something does break, because it will, nothing's perfect. No car's perfect out there. I'll be the first to admit. Parts are readily available and they're extremely affordable. And so that is a huge plus to owning, a vehicle long term. Number three is capability. These are very capable in off-road situations. Their four-wheel drive is a good system, and it works effectively. And the number four is the size of these and the value. So these, to me, it's the best bang for your buck. This is the biggest four-wheel drive vehicle that is affordable. And for those reasons and more, this is a great option, and we really, really love, all of these GM vehicles: Suburban, Yukon XL, Tahoe, Yukon, and then all the trucks and everything. There's a big platform, a lot of information out there about these. So that pretty much concludes the video. If you have any further questions, comments, feel free to leave them in the sections below, and I'll try my best to get to them. And thanks for watching, and have a good one.